Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Friday, the 22nd of November, and I am your host, Shozen. And with me, there's nobody with me today. It is just me, and yeah, so it's me, guys. I hope you enjoy just hanging out with me today. I will be giving away some prizes. I will be playing an interview, and maybe if you're really lucky, I might do some fan fiction. I might talk about fracking, or somebody could send me something odd from the great library of Albion. But I don't know if anybody else is showing up today. I don't know if we'll be doing Albion Live later today, as it looks like right now it's just going to be me. So I'm going to go ahead and play this fantastic interview with you with Cable. He's in chat right now. He is a brand new player who just started Albion, and he thinks we are not savage enough, and that's how I'm going to just leave it for you guys. Let me go find this. I'm here with another episode of the Albion interview series, and today we're interviewing a brand new player who just started last week, Cable. How you doing, Cable?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And yourself there, Shozen?
I'm doing pretty good. I really appreciate you hopping on last minute. So we have a show today. Bogul is off doing a roundtable event on economics and getting some, player ideas on economics. We try to do these things regularly. It's one of the things that we do here at Albion, is we talk to the players about what they want changed and try to, when we can, get use that back and forth info to improve the game. So, yeah, that's where Bogul is today. But thank you for doing this interview with me. I'm actually really interested in hearing about how a brand new player feels about Albion. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? How has the initial experience been? How have you felt about that first 7 days?
I haven't been stabbed yet.
You haven't died yet?
No, actually.
Oh, boy.
They got the whole everybody wins, you go down and get right back up system. To me, that's a little... I come from old games, so you die, you lose all your stuff. What I'm used to, and that's what I saw in the trailers.
Yeah.
And that's what actually drew me in, was the what was it? One of them was Guild versus Guild. The two players.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the things that drew me in. And then I saw the one previous to that on Steam. It was the one with the miner. He starts out as just mining the ore, and then it goes into how, you bring that to your guild craftsman. The guild craftsman you're trying to bring it to sell it somewhere else, and then they get ganked, and then and it all comes. They start this big giant war, and it's all because you started mining that one little ore. And that's what really got me into the game, and I loved it. It was a great concept.
Well, don't worry. The blue zones are a very small portion of the world. T4 does not last forever. Once you get into the rest of the world, it does become a little bit more cutthroat.
Ruthless.
Yeah, it is ruthless at every level. So, yeah, tell me about some of these adventures on your first 7 days. You said you were when we were talking before, you were saying you were very into the gathering and crafting so far.
Yeah, like I said, what really, really grabbed me was the one single crafter for that guild, and I was like, I have nothing but time to burn on my hands most of the time. I would love to be able to craft for a guild, because it is that player economy, like you were saying earlier, that Bogul is doing, and that's something that really drove me, because crafting, gathering, that's basically time to burn, and it's great. It's nice, chill, relax, smoke a cigarette, start doing some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great game for that kind of style of gameplay. You can just start an empire one day at a time, is the way I like to think about it, is that you start just, tapping on your own materials, and before you know it, you have 37 islands full of laborers and your own little tool maker in the heart of Carleone, where you grind out your capes and bags and sell them on the black market for exorbitant profit.
I didn't get that far yet. I'm still barely hitting Thetford. Yeah. So we started. So
Excellent. So you say that in other games you wanted to come to, or you wanted to come to a game where it was PvP centric and was this cycle of life. Are you looking forward to joining that? You said you had seen us on the GVGs and the ZVZs. Are you looking forward to that?
oh, for sure, for sure. I come from a really old game from way back in the day. I'm talking 22 years ago. I was one of the first players of Tibia. If anybody remembers that, it was a cutthroat game. You got to level 8, you left the rookie island where everything was safe, and it was you're walking down the street and you just get shanked by 5 people and lose everything. Personally, I was a little sad to see the blue zones because I do come from more cutthroat games where you do walk, you're brand new out of the gate, and you get like 2 hours of safety, and then all of a sudden the whole world is bloody. And I was actually excited to be in that right off the bat because that would have been really cool. It would actually drive more join a guild for protection, join a guild to have them help you and learn and stuff like that. It is a lot of fun.
So what you're saying is,
really
sorry to interrupt. I mean, I just heard something you said, and I just felt like I had. So you're saying is Albion's too soft for you?
it is. It is totally a millennial game, in my opinion.
Well,
so everybody wins.
Don't worry. When you get out to the rest of the game, once you get into the red zone and start heading towards the center, or go to the black zone, it gets a little less friendly. I mean, there's a bit of hand holding out there. We do have some guilds that. Yes.
Speaking of the black zones, I was looking around and I was a little sad to see that the black zones are, even though they say they're tier 3, they still only drop T4 to T6 materials. And I was a little sad to see that because I was like, I can mine T3 and T4 materials. I would love to go to the black zone and do that for fun.
Well, see, that's actually the reason that is because they try to make it so you have to come back to the royals to get certain materials. The way crafting goes, and you've seen it, you have to use tier 2 to get to tier 3, tier 3 to get to tier 4, tier 4 to get to tier 5.
2 to 1, so it's 2 to 1. So if you have 100 T1 or 100 T2 material, you only get 50 T3 material, and then you only get 25 of T4 material.
Well, it actually scales up.
So,
it scales up as we get higher in tiers, so you need even more.
Yeah.
So you need 4, and then 5 and 6. It gets up there. You need more and more of the materials as you get higher in level, but you still need that tier 2 material all the time, and you need that tier 3 material all the time so that you can make your high tier materials. And it does almost feel like an antiquated system at this point because we really have tried to separate our black zones and the royals. It was originally
maybe even have an option for the more hardcore players like me, where there is that semi-starting zone. As soon as you hit tier 2, it is possible in certain areas of the black zone to be able to farm those materials.
Well, you can get to tier 4 if you go for one tool, and for tier 4 you can get that in an afternoon.
Character, I'm already crafting T4. So.
Okay, well, yeah. Then you can definitely get to the black zone. There's places for you, but I would recommend starting in the red zones, not going directly to the black zones. The red zone has a couple advantages for you as a new PvPer. In the bottom right on the map, as a new player, this is really important. It'll tell you the number of hostile players in the zone, so that if you're gathering
and tells me all the friendly players in the zone all the time. Just like it tells me all the friendly players.
Yeah, well, it will stop doing that. It'll stop doing that when you go to red zones. It'll only tell you the hostile player count. It doesn't give you the friendly player count anymore. It'll only tell you the number of hostile players in the zone. And then when you get to black zones, it doesn't do that at all. And the only warning you get about other players is when there are over 10 players in an area, it creates a red bubble on your map. And as the number increases to 300, it gets bigger.
Yeah,
so
I noticed that with this. You guys were like, find me another blob, and then there's this giant red circle that's taking up a quarter of the map, and you're like, oh, there's like 300 people here fighting.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that's lovely.
And then that is the
Like,
future that will come to you if you're patient. But like you were talking earlier about how you have gotten everything up to tier 4. So you say you would be like a jack of all trades at this point going forward in Albion, and that you're trying to learn how to craft everything. It seems.
for sure. So that way, the guild says, oh, we need T5 mage gear made for a new player that's joining the guild. Okay. Toss it over to Cable. He'll craft it for us, and then I'll quickly craft whatever they need, and then they're like, here you go, new player, you're awesome, stay with us.
Having gear for new players is huge, and the ability to make all of it is great. Bogul and I, we once a week do an episode for new players, and we try to give new tips. And one of them that we do give is get everything up to T4 as the ability to use. Not necessarily the ability to craft. I do that, Bogul does that, a lot of people do, because it gives you a little bit of freedom when you're bopping around the world. You don't necessarily have to wait for a T4 crafter to try out a new build. But it lets you try out all the builds. It lets you get an idea of what you want to do for your character going forward. But once you have an idea, and I have to stress this for you, once you have an idea of what you want to do, go for just that. Whether it's crafting or gathering or PvP, until you get something that's fairly high up there, like in the T7s at least. That will allow you to compete at the higher levels.
Oh, for sure. What's really nice that I do enjoy is the fact that you have to use it to level it up. Simply because you're not going to freaking, in real life, you're not going to pick up sword and know how to use it right away. You need to be able to train it. And I did notice a really big thing that will have to happen at some point with any item that anyone uses is those rewards per level, plus 0.2 bonus item power for all whatever you're using, plus the specialization with that item. And as you were saying, those masteries, those extra spells, those extra skills are always nice because you just gotta have them.
Yeah,
if you don't use it, you just want them.
Well, you will get there. That's the thing, is it does take time. This is a very much you are what you wear game. It is you are what you do game. You get better at what you play game. And it's very much that is part of the loop. That is part of the grind as well. The grind does get there. I mean, we do have some grindy things. Once you try to get to that T8 gathering, there's quite a bit of grinding. But if you take it slow, like a lot of people have, you will get to the end eventually, and it's pretty fun. I do enjoy those ZVZs. You were talking about getting into ZVZs and how...
For sure. I did also I came from Tibia, but I also came from early Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, where you command, a good 500 troops at once, and you're taking on another Zerg. Sometimes you got to split half that Zerg off and, flank around. So I am also really good at those kind of tactics, that kind of gameplay, and it takes, a smart person to be able to do that properly. So that is a big selling point for me as well.
Yeah, we have a number of very good shot callers. We actually had on one of the other news stations, the Albion News 24, Duratine, one of our ZVZ shot callers, did a 101 session on it, like just a class on how to get it done. And that, I hear, is pretty helpful. Check that out. That's a really good tutorial for people who are looking to get better at shot calling. And as you said, it takes a very smart person to be able to shot call in this game, ZVZs. It's not easy. Have you watched any of our invasions where we show a lot of those ZVZs?
No, I haven't had the opportunity. Today was the first day I tuned in. I didn't even know you guys had a TV show until today, and I saw you posting it in the chat. Hey, 45 minutes, we're going to be doing the news show. I was like, that sounds interesting, and something that I would like to, watch and maybe even be a part of if I had the opportunity, which thank you again for the opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. That's how easy it is to get on the show here. Just start playing 6 days ago and see the show early in the morning, and then by the evening, if I desperately need to have a show for tomorrow, you could get on this show. Anybody could get on this show.
Anybody can do it. So easy, a monkey can do it.
It's pretty easy, yeah. But yeah, I'm glad to see that you found the show and you got here. What we do is we have a thing called the invasion, or reset day, depending on how you want to call it. Usually it's once per month, 3 times per season. All the territories in the black zones are dropped, right? and NPCs take over those territories, and then people have to take over them with ZVZ forces, and then use
Yeah.
PvE tactics to take down each boss in those territories. And we show those every month. We call so you can watch two of them. Each invasion we do in EU and an NA time slot, and they're pretty interesting. Some are better than others, but the last EU one was pretty good, and the NA towards the end picked up as well. We had a lot of fights, so if you want to see some of the ZVZs, you can find them there. These were a little bit. It wasn't the best performance we've had at a ZVZ. We seem to have had a little bit of an issue over the last invasion. I don't know where that came from, but sometimes happens. Lots of players on the screen. We get a little bit of slideshow Bob.
Oh, trust me, I totally understand that because, like I was saying, Guild Wars 2, they also had Reset Day, which was once a week. They changed to get the servers that are fighting each other in World versus World versus World, and it was just a crap show trying to get to those things, take down the NPC bosses, and then you got to defend it against whatever forces is trying to take that one at the same time. So it can get a little ridiculous. I can understand that.
Yeah, but we're constantly trying to make it work better, and hopefully, with the current debuffs were introduced to ZVZs, like a battle confusion, the more players you bring to a ZVZ now, the more of a debuff you get. So it encourages
Yeah,
you to kind of bring smaller groups.
They have a 10% reduction to heals or damage or whatever, and it said, it basically told you how many players were fighting for that faction in that time, and I was like, that actually is a really interesting system. That's a good way to ensure a little bit of balance, to ensure they're not just steamrolling them.
Yeah, now even if you have a bigger force, while you still can roll over your opponent eventually, right? Now they do have the ability to inflict more casualties on you. So it's still becomes more painful, when you have those numbers, and these giant battles do incur more casualties, which is good for the economy. If you are a crafter and more people are losing their gear, that means more people are buying your gear, which is good for everyone, which is the circle of life, That's what I love about Albion. It's the circle of life. You go out, you gather when you're bored early in the day, you put on the news, you watch your Netflix, you get your shinies and run around, try to keep your eye out for the baddies, keep yourself entertained, drink your coffee, all good. Middle of the day, you go into have your lunch, eat your lunch and craft away, get your, few sets that you pump out the door with your focus. Then you go out for the prime times and bang. And it's a great little life that I get to enjoy here with Albion. I don't get to play as much as I used to. Now my life seems to be just ZVZs when I can join some other already established guild. But yeah, there was a day farming in the very early morning with the breakfast, then the gathering, and then just so much to do.
Well, I wanted to ask you something really quick. You're talking about the economy and all that. Where does the silver go? Does it only just change hands? Does it ever roll back into the world itself? Is there an actual limit to how much silver is actually in the world, or does it just keep increasing? Because I go kill heretics, I get 22 gold per heretic, 10 gold, 15, 20, 1,000 for a boss. But where
does it go? It goes to a number of places. Are you logged in right now?
Yes, I am.
If you go to the top of your screen right now, you can look at that little gold coin up there that says the gold market, right?
You can. I saw that you can buy gold coins. You can sell gold coins. You can buy premium with silver. You can do stuff like that.
If you look at the last 4 weeks, you can see the trend of gold going down. It's been going from 3,600 down to 3,151. You see, we actually had a bit of a silver inflation issue recently. Well, it was not even silver inflation. It was silver had less value because we had so much silver coming into the game. We needed a significant additional silver sinks. Our silver sinks in the game are repairs, which you may or may not have had to deal with very much so far
I
because you're only tier 4.
Because when I do go out and farm, I do go out and farm one material until whatever I'm using breaks. So I come back with 1,500 of whatever that material is, 1,600, whatever it finally breaks at. I think I had like 1,664 tin ore last time I was out farming tin ore.
Well, the repair cost,
But,
as you get higher in level, goes up a lot. One of
I
our GVG resuppliers recently said that he is spending about 5 million silver per day on repair costs for GVGs and ZVZs for his guys. That's not counting the re-gear cost. That's just the cost of repairing gear alone. That's for one guild.
Yeah.
Now, other things we have are the...
Okay.
And then there's the premium is another big sink for silver because people will buy gold with their silver and then they turn that gold into premium. The premium just they buy islands for silver.
8 million. What the current cost of 1 month of premium is 8,142,500 silver.
So, yeah, you can buy it in silver as well, and you can just straight do that. Yeah, it eats
that's
it
also
up.
Really nice. What you guys did with this, yeah, it's going to take you forever to get 8 million silver, but with that 8 million silver, you just bought 30 days of premium that you would have ended up spending. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see if I can find that button. There it is. Pay $10 for it. You would normally pay, $10 for 30 days of premium when you just did it for free, and that actually gives you a better sense of accomplishment, which I do enjoy.
And one of the other ones we have is the ability to transmute resources is another silver sink we have in the game. It has a silver cost associated with it that allows you to pay silver to up the enchantment level or the tier of resources, and that was just changed in the game to become more useful.
I think I did that once. I ended up with a tier 4 special.
Tier 4.1? Yep. It might not be...
fully upgraded it to 0.3.
0.3, that's very expensive. Yeah, that's gonna cost you a lot. I don't know if that's the way. You can probably buy that cheaper in the marketplace than upgrading 4.3.
For sure, just doing it as an example.
Learning lessons, yes. You're new. You'll learn some expensive lessons.
The hard way. You learn things the hard way the first time around.
Yes, you have to. So, as a new player, what would you say? We have a couple minutes left here before I'm going to let you go. It was very interesting talking to you and just getting to hear about the new player experience a bit. What would you say really stuck out to you so far in your first week? What is really sticking out to you in Albion?
Sticking out, it's the nodes and how fast they come back and how slow the higher tier ones come back. That actually makes me personally, because I like to plan my route, I time it all out. I got it. Okay, if I farm this one at this point, run to this one, run to this one, then by the time I get back to the first one, it'll already have all of its slots back. And that was actually really cool for me, because it's something that I'm really good with, just estimating time in my head. Oh, I've been doing this for 5 minutes. The first node's back. Hopefully some jerk didn't come up and take it.
Gathering becomes much different the higher you go up, I will say. It's there's going to be less...
I think I heard something like 58,000 of the top tier resources that spawns daily, so that kind of...
Oh, that's something, that's a different thing. We were talking about Avalonian energy. That number is about Avalonian energy. Avalonian energy is the newest resource that's been added to the game just this past week on the 13th. I mean, you came in at just the right time to see something new added to the game. We just had a mini content update as we prepare for our large content update, Queen. Queen is going to be the biggest update the game has ever seen as we're redoing our entire Outlands map. Adding in, we're adding this faction, the Avalonians, to the game. They just came in with the last patch. We're doing a bunch of other things as far as changing the way that people live in the Outlands. We're getting rid of home plots, which you probably have never even heard of before, and replacing them with a thing you haven't heard of at all, the hideouts.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about hideouts earlier, but I have noticed that, if I press what was the standard hotkey? Standard hotkey 8. You can build things from what it says. You can build it anywhere, but it has to be on a sandy plot. It has to, no trees in the way. Yada, yada,
Well, that's
yada.
a very specific kind of building. That building is for, well, you can do it in a hideout, you can do it on a home plot, and you can do it on a personal or guild island. You can actually buy yourself an island at any city once you have premium. That'll allow you to build buildings like a little home, so you can put chests in there, hire laborers, or even start your own farms so that you can start growing crops or herbs, raise animals to make your own food or potions, or even raise mounts. You can do all those things on a personal island.
That's awesome. That is actually really cool.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that button might be a little bit misleading. When I first started playing the game, in alpha, like Alpha 2, you could actually place buildings in a lot of places around the world. And it was very interesting just be running through a, tier 5 zone, and all of a sudden there's like a player shop there. It was
That
interesting.
was actually something that I was interested in, that drew me in, because it says sandbox, which means build anywhere.
Well, you will in the black zones soon. You'll be able to put a hideout down almost anywhere, and then you'll be able to build inside of there. The reasons that we have taken, or SBI has taken away the ability to build anywhere, was because it was stuff that had become too abused and it just wasn't working right in our world. Without the ability to destroy things correctly, it was such a balancing act between making it something that you could destroy and something that had value because it would stay. But if anybody can destroy it, it can't be very expensive because it's too easy to destroy. It became a whole nonsense loop. So just get rid of it and then make designated areas for building. And it seems to be working.
Well, that is.
But we will have something to break down very, very soon in the form of hideouts. Is there anything else you'd like to go over before we end this interview?
Albion's awesome. You guys keep up the awesome work. Yeah.
No, well, thank you. Well, you keep up the awesome enjoyment of the game. Keep playing. Get out of those blue zones. If you find that those blue zones are just too easy for you, I suggest spend the day gathering T5. If you're not to T5 yet, just start faming T5. Just fame some T5 in a red zone. Take some T4 gear so when you lose it, it's not so bad. But you'll learn pretty quick just how dangerous this game is if you just start faming in the red zones a little bit. Just faming them for a little while, But be prepared to lose. Prepare to die. Like, think of Inigo Montoya is the guy talking to you right now. You killed his father, dude. Prepare to die. I know, Rob Reiner would be proud. All right, well, thank you very much, Cable.
Well, thank you, Shozen, for letting me be on here, and I'd be more than happy to come back anytime.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe we'll get an update after you've been in for 6 months, see what guild you're in, see how you're grinding it out, and how you enjoy that ZVZ lifestyle.
I'm on a farm.
Huh?
I said 6 months. How long or how slow do you think I'm going to farm?
Okay, well, you keep me updated. You let me know when you get to that T8. I want to hear. When you hit T8, I want to hear about it. We'll do an interview when you hit T8. Anything. Gathering, crafting, farming. I don't care. If fighting, gear, whatever it is that you get to T8, and we'll do an update on this.
All right, for sure.
All right. Thank you, Cable. Have a good night.
Thank you, Shozen.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't think Lupac is showing up, but I might be persuaded to do one fan fiction story if you guys can figure out one thing you want me to tell a story about. And I might stick around a little bit longer now that people have an idea of where I am. And yeah, I had fun with that. Let's see. I'm sorry, Julie Cow, that you feel that that interview gave you zero insight. It was with a player who is, I don't know, 7 days in, I believe. And we were trying to get an idea of just what it was like for him joining the game and what he thought of it so far. I feel like we got a few insights, such as he thinks we're too soft, maybe. Thinks that maybe we should be getting the black zone out there earlier for people. He likes having instant access to PvP. I don't know. Maybe. This is one of your low points, man. Yeah. I would have liked to have been able to interview one of the top tier guild leaders, but I had very little, time to prepare and get a good one out. Who are the old kings? Old kings. Well, I see if you want to talk about an old king, we have an old emperor returning. One of the most interesting things that happened in this game was about 4 months after release, maybe 5 months, there was a guild called CIR that stumbled across a tower in Cumbria and was able to take that one tower that had been unfed and turn that into an empire over a few months. Syndic took his GVG team, which none of them had, really GVG'd before this, and turned them into an unstoppable force. One of those players on that team is, well, actually, two of them. I mean, Bodeville and Cargera are both original members of that. I don't know if Lissy Tank is. Lissy Tank may have came later, but they are some of the original, most powerful... Oh, hi, Blink. I guess you won some awards. Most powerful GVG team we had ever seen. And they were able to not only take over a continent for CIR and Poe, but they were able to mercenary out their power to another continent and another alliance called Rent. This allowed Syndic to charge rent for home plots across the world, and he basically controlled 2.5 continents at one point. There was a day called the Albion Super Bowl, and it wasn't really just a day. It was a short period of time where 6 home plots were assaulted in a single period, and 5 of them fell. It was incredible. Poe and a number of other alliances in the game at that time banded together to take on Derek and Money Guild, and they were able to force them out of most of their home plots. They took Tea Party, Say My Name, Metatron, and was Zorn one of the ones that fell as well, I want to say. There were a lot that fell that day. It was incredible, as well as Money Guild's main home plot that fell as well. And that was one of the most interesting moments of the game. And now we see the player who orchestrated that, Syndic, returning after an extended absence. He left, and his empire didn't just fold, it crumbled and was gone. You saw CIR, while it existed, it was just never really all that powerful, never really relevant for a very long time. And then he came back, and Blink, I'm going to give you that in Carleon. We'll go back to Carleon so you don't have to carry that back. Like, you don't want to carry that naked from... Oh, both these guys won this week? These guys are the winners? You don't think it's fair? How about we make them duel each other in Carleon to see who's the best finder? But I don't want to do it here because Blink has no gear. Blink got there first. I do agree. What does chat think? I am going to let the mob decide this, but I do want to finish the story, and well, I guess the finishing of it is pretty simple. Syndic has returned, and he's rebuilding Poe, and that's one of the more interesting things that we've ever seen. Like, he's already bringing back some of his very powerful friends into the fold of Poe, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes over the next season. All right. Kill them both? I should kill both of these guys? Put them in jail for 12 hours for being the guys who are participating? Nah, I think I'm going to go to Carleon and I'm going to give them both prizes. Yeah, I'm going to give them both prizes. I'll go see what I have lying around and see if I can't give Jank a prize as well. Congratulations to both of you guys for trying and getting out here. I appreciate it. As far as other old kings, you have to say that Derek is the oldest king. He has continued to share power with King Mojo since the day he said he would. And while they've not always been on the same side, they've both remained very relevant. I don't think I can call Torthor a king. Gluttony, he has more followers than anyone, and I think of him as like a spiritual leader, like a pope or something, not really a king. And he does have the most followers, always has. It's pretty impressive. King Cryon is the best king. Does he have any followers still? Does he have like a hereditary line? Does he? I mean, he led conflict for a while and was very, very interesting and led to a lot of great, I don't know, like drama. Machete Bandit, I would say he's a great lord of the land, 100%. There's a lot of lords out there, great lords, people who were able, like Torthor and those kind of guys, who were able to lead great forces, like Ellipsis even. They led forces, Duratine, these guys led forces, but they never were able to really control forces. They never led an entire continent worth of people. But you do see that from the likes of Mojo, Syndic, Gluttony, I guess even Kantos, if you want to, talk about phrasing and stuff. But it's been interesting. Even Frank Sinatra at one point you could say was quite the leader. He had quite a bit of Anglia back in the day. He was the first one, I believe, to ever control that much territory. Though Derek and Mojo did hold Mercia for quite a while early in the game. Nobody ever competed with them in Mercia until we saw, I believe it was Gray, Black Mamba split Mercia. Both of them cracked it open. But until Syndic came and owned it, yeah, they pretty much owned Mercia. All right, Blink, here you go. Here's your prize. Thank you for participating. And I got to go find this other guy a prize because I don't have anything. If I don't have it in this box, I'm going to be really worried and not know which city my stuff is in. Not really anything worth giving away here. Oh, here, I found these. Enjoy this. We already did an Avalonian pickaxe. That was earlier in the week. I believe that was actually yesterday we gave that away. All right. Here's the junk I found in my bag. Enjoy. It's like you killed somebody. There you go. You've gotten a... I'm so sorry. I wish I had some better stuff to give away. But Tier 1 did win a gold code today, so... maybe he'll just get one of the upgraded ones instead for participating all week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think this is going to be it today. I have no messages that anybody's showing up for the rest for Albion Live. So I'm going to say thank you very much, guys. You guys make this happen. I appreciate that you guys show up every day, and I'm going to see how many more raffles I can give away. Let me go look real quick. Nobody claimed a raffle today. Jank, you should at least claim it. Whisper me, man. Did you? Did I see you? No. Dank. I know you're here, so I'm going to give you a prize, but the other guys have to whisper me as well if they want this. I keep announcing them. MG Barbary, Dark Ross. I don't know. Dark Ross. Sure. You guys, message me or you won't get your prize, and they will once again roll over until the next show. I do have a couple more, though, to pull. Let's see who we got now. Ayo Relic Hunter. This guy wins a lot. Must be rigged. Let's see if he... we got Tier 1 Jank. Congrats on figuring out how to message me. And let's see. Kiris. Congratulations. Just somebody. I'm going to pull one more because I have a feeling not all these people are going to. I haven't won in over a month. All right. Well, congratulations on getting back on the winning track, man. Get back on that winning track. Get in there. Holy crap. Ridiculous. Guess who just won? The new guy. The new guy won. Let's see if he can pull it off. Show up for the raffle. Get on the air. Then the next day, listening to your own interview. Win a raffle. All right, I'm going to pull one more because not enough people are messaging me. We got to do this. We got to get people. All right, here's somebody who didn't message me earlier in the week when they won. Smite FN. Smite FN. If you're here, man, you've already lost out on one of these raffles. One of these was already yours, and you've already lost it once. Don't lose it a second time. All right, that's it. That's all the raffles I got. Hopefully some of you guys have heard this and you can figure out how to whisper me. It's very difficult. It involves left clicking and finding the whisper button. But thank you guys for tuning in. We do this Monday through Friday, the AO Daily Show at 18 UTC. And Tuesday through Thursday, we do Albion Live, which is our live Crystal and GVG show, which we try to do for all of you guys. No Fun Stealer, I'm not going to do it myself because I don't get paid. So I'm going to go and do the rest of the work that I haven't gotten done the rest of the week, like get yesterday and today's episodes onto SoundCloud so that you guys who want to listen later can listen later on SoundCloud or YouTube, which are the other two options to find this great show, and they are soundcloud.com, youtube.com/AOTV. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and thank you, Jackie Ace, for subscribing once again. We appreciate all of you, and I hope you enjoy your great new emotes. I just got paid now. Type in chat for the others, please. What does that mean? Type in chat for the others. Yeah, I actually found somebody who had like 20 different names that were all one person, and they had won quite a lot of raffles in the past, and they won't be winning any more raffles. They did a lot of raffling. So I do feel bad about that because of all you guys not getting to win prizes before I noticed it. Yeah, and a whole army, dude. It was like an army. It was ridiculous. At least 20. I caught 20 of them. Like, I was able to find 20 of them and associate 20 different accounts. It could have been more. I was just shocked. I just kept finding more and more and more and more. And I was actually impressed with the amount of tools that we have at our disposal to find those. I didn't even know I had that kind of tool that would allow for me to figure it out. But I do. And I got to play detective yesterday. I'd rather not say who it was. I don't feel like that's fair to them. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't even know which one is their real account. Like, their real account could be in this room right now, hanging out as any one of you. And I don't want to do that to anybody. I think that would be unfair. But I'm going to head out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate all you guys tuning in every day. I get to see a lot of the same names, and you guys are pretty awesome. So remember, if you have any talent at art, we need more emotes. And I'll be back here on Monday trying to pick another one. And it will probably just be Miss Shireen's because, well, it's pretty darn good. All right. Peace. I'm out.